Stevo, did you see Elliot bought me a game?
Oh, what did you get?
He did send me something on Origin.
Yeah, maybe.
What?
Titanfall 2.
Oh, yeah?
I guess
Good
he
work.
found it for $5 again.
It's going to be my next game once we fucking pick Rhyme.
Just get rid of Rhyme. Just put it in
Emerald
instead. Nobody cares.
Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 28 of Rather Be Playing, the podcast where we talk about how we'd rather be playing games than missing the Pride Parade so I could come back home and record this goddamn episode. Sorry. I'm Josh.
I'm Elliot.
And I'm Stevo. Sorry, Josh. We knew you had a fun day planned. It's all Elliot's fault, though.
It is.
It is. I'd love to hear. You said you were there for a little bit, though, right? Was it a good time?
Yeah, it was good. I took my niece and her two friends and dropped them off at the beginning of the parade, and then I went to go find a parking spot, and I just kind of floated around, wandering. We got there early, so
Floated around.
Uh-huh.
Nice. Parade float.
So yeah, I was just we get the joke.
Thanks for explaining the joke.
So yeah, I was just kind of wandered up and down the parade route, and saw the Dykes on Bikes, and then bunch of other little groups that were parading through. I only saw like the beginning of the Pride Parade, but a ton of people there, tons of people just kind of, all in the rainbow outfits or very little outfit at all. And yes, the Seattle Pride Parade's a pretty fun time at least. But yeah, unfortunately I had to duck out early because I was like, oh crap, I got to record this damn thing. So I got to go home. But my wife just left to go pick up my niece. So they'll be home soon.
Sorry for dragging you home early. That was, as Stevo said, entirely my fault. We had to record this one a little early because I just remembered that I'll be out of town all of next week. So we're coming at you from the distant past this week. But by the time this airs, I'll be back in town and hopefully playing lots of video games.
And speaking French.
Yeah, I'm going to Montreal for my wife has a conference up there, and it's a week-long thing. I'm just going to be kind of hanging out, trying to find a way to kill time while she goes off to work.
Have you been up there before?
I think I went up as a kid. I have an uncle who's French-Canadian out of Montreal, but I don't remember. Maybe it's like a 3 or 4 year old, but I don't remember anything about it if I even went.
And you're going to be up there a full week?
A full week, yeah. So her conference is Tuesday through Friday, and then we have Saturday to kind of see what there is to see.
Cool, Elliot. I'll just take off like Wednesday to Friday, and me and you'll just booze it up Wednesday and Thursday night. I'll take a flight up to Montreal.
We'll be up there during the Jazz Fest they have going on.
Oh, yeah?
It's going to be a great time.
Why didn't you tell me about this a few months ago? I mean, obviously, because you probably wouldn't want me crashing a trip between you and your wife. But, yeah, could have been.
We could have planned something out. We could have had you, like, drive up here, and then we all, like, carpool up together. And just, these, like, conference trips are always so last minute. Like we do the airline like 6 weeks before, and we just always default to airline. But like looking back, I'm like, man, it's a 6-hour drive. We could have just drove. We could have like relaxed a little bit more, but it is what it is. I'm looking forward to it though.
Yeah, I still haven't been to Canada. That's why I'm like,
you've never been at all?
No, I need an excuse to go up. I'm sure I'll find one sooner or later.
My wife and I went up to Montreal at one point. I'm trying to remember if it was when we went to Niagara Falls or when we did like our northeastern tour of like Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Massachusetts and all that. One of those times. We were only there for like a night, but
the second one makes more sense because Niagara Falls is up by like Buffalo, New York. So
that I think that was when we went to Toronto then. So yeah.
Yeah, okay, that makes more sense.
Okay. Yeah, so we stayed up there for a night and then came back down. It was it's a neat little city. I mean, my 4 years of high school French actually came in handy a few times there, the little bit that I remembered. But yeah,
my French, I think I took 2 years of high school French, and it's never helped me in anything. It was, I tried it when we were in Paris, and failed miserably, and they give you this dirty look like, why are you even attempting At least the people I interacted with behind the hotel desk were like,
Où est la
"Why are
toilette?
you-"
Où est la toilette?
Yeah,
There you go.
I was embarrassed, but at least they should speak English there. I hear that
They do.
depending on what parts you go to, they might not be as forthcoming with it. But it's a beautiful town from what I hear, and I'm excited. Yeah,
Yeah, it should be a good time.
especially the Jazz Fest.
Are you gonna have any time for playing games on the
That's the
plane?
thing.
Or
I wasn't gonna bring my Switch, but now that we're kind of free of E3 and we can get back to Oxenfree,
good point.
I'm kind of tempted to. I've also got like Hollow Knight on there, and Fortnite is on there now. Like I'm very tempted to bring it up, but then I also feel stupid. Why would I bring a video game console when I'm visiting a new city and should be exploring? It's hard to justify it. But
I mean, at some point you're going to be using the bathroom, so I mean,
it's true.
Or you could be that cool guy posted up in a coffee shop playing your Switch. Yeah.
Everyone wants to be that guy, and
the
this is
switch,
my chance.
the switch.
They switch, yes. Yeah. But yeah, I'm hoping to. How about you guys? Have you been playing in any games here, Stevo?
I have been waiting to talk about a game for a long, long time, lads, because of E3 and everything in between. I was playing Prey.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
I
you
really
played that so long ago.
Yeah, I played the demo like months ago and kind of enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the idea that you can go about exploring the space station in different ways. You know, you can attack things a variety of different tools that you have at your disposal. But really, I wasn't expecting to enjoy it quite as much as I did, and I ended up putting like 50 hours into it or something similar. maybe between 30 or 40. But
damn, dude.
I forget. Did you play the system? Have you played System Shock 2?
So I played quite a bit of System Shock 2. I think it's split up in 5 floors, isn't it? And you
Something
make
like
your
that,
way
yeah.
up. And I'm pretty sure I'm either on the. I think I'm on the 3rd.
Okay.
I think I'm on the 3rd floor, but I kind of just got bored or got stuck not knowing which direction I should go. A classic Stevo move. I gave up on it. But yeah, Prey is giving me this like immersive sim kick that I haven't had in years and years and years. Like
Nice.
I've pined for this since the original Deus Ex. Playing a game that felt like the world that you were living in was real and the choices that you make actually matter. And I know you guys enjoyed the Deus Ex reboot. You both enjoyed Human Revolution, didn't you?
Yeah.
I
loved it.
couldn't get into that. The way it jumped between first person perspective and third person perspective, it just felt really clunky to me. The what do you call it? The cover mechanics when shooting just drove me nuts.
Can't you turn into like a coffee cup in Prey? Are you a first person coffee cup? Or?
you are at all times as first person. But it's funny you should mention that. I did a full human playthrough.
You never once used.
So I didn't use any of the alien neuromods, which I guess I should really go back to the start and explain what is going on with this game at all. Basically, you are a famous scientist and you're traveling to the Talos 1 space station to do research with your brother into these biomechanical devices called neuromods, which you basically inject into your eye. And
Yes.
Elliot, you would love it. You'd be all about it. And they rewire your brain to give you new abilities, things that you never could do before. The world is so large and so detailed, it's breathtaking. Even for a AAA game, I was still blown away by the scope of this game. That the areas are so large and yet it feels so cohesive, and right down to the minor details, everything is in there. Like, it feels lived in. You're reading emails and you're reading notes, and it like you're interacting with people without interacting with people. You're learning about the people who actually live on this space station. And
I've heard that like the logs and emails are extensive and very
and so realistic, so naturalistic. The way people talk to each other in emails, the people who don't get on with each other, the people who do get on with each other, the people who are dating or flirting. It's really, really, it's so well written. The writing in this game is phenomenal. The style of the game is all it's first person. It's an immersive sim, which basically means I guess more recently immersive sims tend to be sandbox games. Although, well, I guess the Dishonored series is broken up into levels, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, there's like a hub world, and then you branch off to go to.
Yeah. This one is more like one big sandbox with multiple different areas of it. So you'll have like deep storage, you'll have the main lobby, you'll have like the crew quarters, you'll have it's split up in that way. You'll have like obviously I'm blanking on all of them now. But
well, I mean, it sounds like the way System Shock 2 and BioShock do it, where technically it's levels, but they're just divided up by like bulkheads or the bathyspheres.
But this,
you can always go back if you want. But
they fit together so much more neatly. You can like certain ones you can get to 2 or 3 different areas for. Other ways of doing it is you can actually go outside and you can spacewalk, and it just all feels so cohesive. It's amazing. It's a phenomenal piece of work. I'm just so impressed with it. And you really get attached to the NPCs, and like the biggest compliment that I can ever pay to a movie or TV show or a game in this case is when the people, in inverted commas, in it are more like people than they are like characters. Like these feel like well-rounded people with like motivations and desires, as opposed to bland 2-dimensional NPCs that you'll find in other games of this sort. And it just makes the whole thing, it just makes me want to jump back in. Even now, having played it all the way through, I did a full human. So the neuromods, you pick them up as you're going throughout the world. Sometimes you find them in a safe or something as a reward for getting through a certain area or for completing a certain mission. There'll happen to be a few neuromods lying around, and then you'll get to choose which ones you want to invest in. So a certain type of skill might cost 2, or it might cost 5, or it might cost 8. It's random depending on how useful that skill is going to be to you. And you can do everything from investing in sneaking and stealth, or hacking, or guns, or melee weapons, or all of these psychic powers that are allowed due to these neuromods containing alien DNA or whatever. But
wow, it really sounds like a cross between like Deus Ex and BioShock there.
Completely.
Bit, yeah.
And the enemies are genuinely freaky as well. They're genuinely like the mimics, for example, which can turn into anything. So they can turn into, as Josh says, coffee cups or trash cans, or anything could potentially just jump at you, and it means you're constantly on edge. It is the creepiest feeling, but it works so well.
Elliot's ideal game.
Yeah, I played the demo. That was hard enough to get through because of the fucking mimics. Yeah.
And then there are these other gigantic monsters, which at times can feel kind of just annoying, that you're just trying to hide from them or run away from them. But it's also that feeling that you never feel overpowered, or at least doing a human playthrough in the way that I did, I never felt overpowered. I mean, but perhaps if you use some of the alien mods and some of the psychic powers, you'd be more likely to feel OP, but I'm not sure. You never know. I might go back and play it through again. If I was playing it through on PlayStation 4 and there was the Platinum taunting me, I might be more likely to do it. But something about Steam achievements just don't quite mean as much to me, you know?
Now you got to go do a wrench playthrough of BioShock.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
It's like the knife playthrough of Resident Evil, and all the different ways to fucking make your life miserable.
Yep.
Yeah.
The story is really good as well. It kept me going the whole way through it. It does kind of lag at times. Sometimes it does feel like you're traveling too far across the space station in order to, move forward in the story. But in general, it kept me guessing, and I really enjoyed the occasional plot twist. I really enjoyed how it ended. I would love for you guys to play it. It's another example of one which we would have such a great chat about it.
Yeah, spoiler chat at the end of an episode. Sounds like.
Yeah.
But the mimics, I don't know if I'll get through.
As I say, it gave me something that I didn't realize I was looking for, and it is. Jesus, Josh. No, but
fresh out of the Pride Parade, Josh.
but again, these are the AAA experiences I want. I want somewhat linear stories. I want a very heavy narrative base. I want good characters that I can get invested in, that I can care about, and maybe I'm gonna go from here to Dishonored 2. Play another one that Bethesda published, and another sandboxy game, and I'll probably decide whether to go full stealth, or in that case, because I went full stealth in Dishonored 1, I might go all out attack and just try and murder people in as many different ways as I can. So
I keep forgetting that I have that. I picked it up on like a Redbox sale right before the end of the year.
Nice.
For PlayStation. I would definitely go full stealth just because that's just how I like those games. But
I know, Dishonored 1 was so satisfying playing through full stealth. So I am kind of tempted, but maybe I'll try and put myself out of my comfort zone. And
I missed out on the initial achievement or trophy for Dishonored 1 going full stealth because I think I accidentally knocked someone out and he drowned in the first level. I forgot
that is the worst.
I've seen clips of people carrying bodies into an elevator, and then they set the body down and the elevator door just closes on their head. And kills them instantly.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's pretty great.
Yeah.
But that was Prey, guys. That was my AAA experience of the past few weeks. And of course, you two have been playing the AAA experience that I really want to have been playing. Tell us a little bit about it, lads.
Yeah, so Hollow Knight. No, go ahead.
God of War, I think, is what Stevo's referring to.
Yes.
And I did get a chance to pick it up when I don't think it came on sale, but there was
it did. It was $50. You got it for 50, didn't you?
No, I think he had a coupon, I think, or something.
I had a 20% off coupon, and it was A Way Out that was on sale. And my not to go into it for too long, but I thought this was an interesting enough story that I was a bit proud of. I had a $50 gift card that I got for my birthday from Stevo, very, very kindly. And Steve also alerted me to Sony Rewards, which I'd never used before and had signed up for years ago, and was able to get a $20 coupon for PSN. So I was sitting here with $70, and the catch was I couldn't add those to my account because I have a PS Plus, or not a PS Plus, but a PS View subscription. I use
because it would just take it straight out of your
I would take it off the credit, and so I had to use it all at once and as much as possible.
Right.
Before I got charged for PS Plus. And so I came across a 20% off coupon at the same time. A Way Out and God of War were two games I was kind of hoping to try to get together. And A Way Out came on sale just slightly. Applied the coupon to God of War and A Way Out, and the total was $69.96.
Nice.
4 cents left over. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I pretty much being able to eliminate the entire gift card in one go. I'm not going to wait for Spider-Man. This is as good as it's going to get.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's it for my PlayStation purchases for the rest of the year. But and speaking of A Way Out, we have to give that a shot.
Yeah, me, play with me.
Yeah. I'll play when I get back from Canada.
Good call. So did you actually boot up God of War?
I did boot up God of War.
How much of it have you played? How many hours?
So maybe 1 or 2. I did the first couple bosses. I haven't gotten too far into it. But what immediately, and I was talking to Josh before we started recording, but what immediately impressed me the most was how good the combat is. It's something that I haven't heard a ton about. I mostly hear about, oh, it's such a different game. It's an over the shoulder. It's a single shot, and how impressive that is. The story, the characters, they work so well. The father-son dynamic, all the stuff we've heard, but I haven't heard anything about the combat, and it is fucking good. It's like the original God of War was known a little bit for its combat, even though it was kind of simplistic, especially in the first game. The second game made it a little bit more, but you're still basically button mashing and QTEing, and that hasn't really gone away, but it's so much more refined to the point where it feels like playing God of War on like hard or God difficulty, where blocking and dodging is essential. You know, it's difficult.
You have to get good at parrying and dodging and rolling and blocking and using your son to shoot arrows at specific points.
You have to use everything available to you. Whereas, you know, if you played on an easy enough mode in the earlier games, you didn't really have to use everything. But Am I
right in thinking that the original God of War games were mostly about chaining combos?
It wasn't about chaining combos. No, you wouldn't get a combo bonus. You could just kind of like hit a bunch of combos and be like, wow, look how great that was. But and you know, the more you keep hitting someone, the longer they're disabled. But
that's what I mean. Like, is that something that God of War and Bayonetta and even Devil May Cry share, or is there like distinct differences between all of them?
Devil May Cry actually kind of wants you to use combos to get, like, I think you get bonuses for depending on how good your combos
I think
are.
Bayonetta does too.
But does Bayonetta?
Yeah, I think it does.
I'm pretty sure you do. You get like a platinum reward if you don't get hit and you get a high enough combo.
Oh, right, yeah. But I mean, like, yeah, God of War.
God of War didn't have that. No.
Oh,
okay.
It would tell you like how many consecutive hits you gave someone, but other
it didn't
than
make a big difference,
speeding, you know, getting to the end of the battle quicker, it wasn't really a big deal. And it seems it does. I don't think they count the combos in this game, but
they
don't
don't.
know if you
they
know
don't.
Better, Josh. Yeah, I didn't think.
I mean, there's no like combo counter or anything on the screen or anything.
Yeah, it feels like Horizon, or even kind of like Breath of the Wild in some ways, but with just God of War combat, just really visceral, harsh.
And it's challenging and it's satisfying.
The challenge was not what I expected. But it's, you know, like the very first boss I fought, the very first one, the one that's basically teaching you how to play, like how important it is to dodge and block. I must have died 6 times before I beat him, and it's like I didn't, you know. You see the first boss, you're like, this is going to be a cakewalk. They're just showing this stuff, but it's challenging. You know, it's very very good. And it's something that I just hadn't heard much about, but they put a lot into it. And there's a whole customization section too that I haven't dabbled in yet. Like, you open up the menu and it's almost overwhelming. There's way more than what you could do in the original God of War games. And I'm looking forward to playing more. I regret that I haven't had much of a chance to play it yet, but anytime I boot it up, it's just pure joy. It's really good.
Yeah, the little I played of it was pretty good.
Yeah, go for it.
Come on, Josh. Josh is platinum, like you all didn't guess. Come on, Josh, tell us about it. What's your override and feeling about it?
So, I didn't have a lot of expectations going in. I didn't play the old God of War games. I mean, I think I booted up the first one and played like the intro level or something. But so I didn't really have much to expect going in, but it was an amazing game. I give it a solid 9 out of 10 if I had to give it a score. Really, the only thing that I was not a fan of was the fact that you fight the same troll boss like 9 times throughout the game. That's obnoxious. But like, yeah, as Elliot was saying, combat's great. You really got to use everything that's at your disposal. Like I played on the next to hardest difficulty, and every fight was like a fight for your life for the most part. I mean, there were a couple times when I would go do like all the side quests before progressing to the story, and then, okay, maybe I ended up being 1 level or 2 levels maybe higher than the general story enemies you're fighting, but they still do a decent amount of damage if you're not blocking, parrying, and dodging and things. So it's it definitely requires you to use everything at your disposal. And
so What
Yeah.
about the side quests? Are they like up to Witcher standards, for example? Are they worth doing? Are they enjoyable? What other kind of activities do you do along with?
The side quests are okay. They're not. No, I wouldn't. They're not as like deep or as detailed as like The Witcher goes. Usually, it's more like, hey, I heard about this treasure over in this place. Go check it out. And
Mhm.
I mean, some of the side quests do have like, do this side quest, and then later on another side quest pops up, which is basically a continuation of the previous one.
Yep.
But and the stories are good, and the characters that you run into in the game are actually really good. I none of them were like super annoying to me. They were all well acted. Some of them are pretty damn funny.
Yeah.
But like other than that, there's like treasure maps where you can find where you just gotta go find this spot on the map. There's
I heard there was some kind of cool environmental puzzles as well.
Yeah. So one of the big things.
No spoilers.
I'm not spoiling anything. So you come across these chests constantly that require you to like hit 3 things and like make these 3 runes disappear, and you basically have to like look around for the thing you have to trigger. Maybe it's like 3 bells. You have to hit all 3 before they stop ringing, or you got to find the certain rune hidden within like a crack in the wall, or a bunch of different things. And the chests give you like health bonuses and things like that. There's a bunch of them. There's like 20 of them or something like that. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of different things you can do in the game. And again, I was off doing a bunch of side quests as much as possible. Even like there's a bunch of optional stuff too you can do that you don't even need to touch before you beat the game. Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Some of the end game side quests required some like grinding, and those were kind of okay. But I loved it, and they just added New Game Plus, and I'm stopping myself from going back and spending a bunch of time with it. But just because I did everything already, I don't really know if I feel the need that I really need to go back and play New Game Plus. I'm not. I mean, maybe there's some different rewards that I can go get or something. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I don't know. I had a really good time with it.
And what about the one shot thing that everyone was talking about? The fact that there are no cuts between cutscenes and.
Yeah, the camera is continuous. It doesn't cut away ever. You could, like, it's a single camera, single shot. They just hit record and basically just follow you through every single step. Yeah, but I heard there's like a fast travel at some point, and that's the only like exclusion to. Yeah,
eventually you get there's a fast travel thing. For most of the game, like a good 3/4 of the game, it's only one way fast travel, like head back to this one point. But later on, you get the option to fast travel between points. So.
And do you feel like it makes a big difference? Do you feel like it does keep you immersed in the game?
I feel like it does. Like I haven't played too much into it yet, but the fact that it's, and I had to be like reminded that it's single shot later, and I'm like, oh my god, that was all just like one thing, and just you literally feel like you're the one standing there with the camera watching the sky interact with the sun, and you're like tilting around.
And do you think like more games will go for this as well, or do you think like it's such a technical feat maybe other companies wouldn't even be capable of it?
I feel like it's worth it for other companies to try it, but I also feel like since this is kind of the first big way it's been done, and it was such a big deal, that it would be really an obvious kind of copycat move if anyone else did it. So
then games have never been shy about copycatting each other.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
I mean, I think it's just a design decision. I don't think it's terrifically hard to implement, because it's just a matter of keeping the camera just in the same spot the whole time, or not the whole same spot, but tracking the same camera rather than just having to switch on and off when a cutscene happens. So I mean, we'll see. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah,
it makes things like a little less cinematic and a little more grounded, a little more visceral. And yeah, if that's the feeling you want to convey, then it's definitely it does it very well, but you don't need it for everything.
Elliot sounds like a video game reviewer. Visceral.
Yeah, I know, I hate that word, but it really it applies to God of War in a lot of ways.
Have you been playing much else, or has this been taking up all the time?
I actually haven't played too much of anything, like a little bit of God of War.
Stevo and I are shocked.
Yeah. Big surprise. Elliot hardly played. I did try out. So Fortnite came out on Switch last week, which was one of the big like bomb drops on. And controversies. And I think we talked about it a little bit in our first E3 episode.
Yeah.
But I tried to try it out, and it was like the first day it was out, and I couldn't get in because there's so many people trying to get in. So I was like, you know what? I will try Fortnite on iPhone, because I had downloaded it months ago and couldn't get into a game and hadn't tried it since then. So let me see if I can get in now. And I did, and I played around, and I finished 10th just doing solo, which isn't bad.
Does it include bots?
Not to my knowledge. I think
yeah. And how many people were in your game? Was it a full 100 or was it?
It was a full. I think it was a full 100. Cool. Yeah.
Most of Fortnite's growth over the past like 6 months has been on mobile.
What surprised me about it was how well it controlled. How much I really enjoyed the touchscreen controls.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if it was because like you had buttons right on the screen. There was no like, and so Fortnite's a game that I'm still kind of getting used to, and I usually play on keyboard and mouse. And if I play on a controller, I sometimes have to look down and be like, what button am I hitting? But all the buttons are clearly labeled as mobile touch points, for better or for worse. And in a lot of cases, I found it a lot easier to switch stances. Wait, I might be thinking of PUBG. I played both of them back to back.
Yeah.
Switching items, especially, or switching to build mode and just tapping what you want. It was a lot more fluid, and maybe intuitive is the wrong word, but it was quicker to get into than my intuition on a controller is.
Well, that's good. And then, like, in theory, then you could use it as a learning aid.
Yes. Yeah, I think you could. In a weird backwards way, I think you could absolutely do that.
Yeah.
Then I switched over to PUBG Mobile, and I won. I got a chicken dinner. But then I read about the articles where they haven't confirmed it, but people are pretty sure that PUBG Mobile has bots.
Yeah, like and at least in your first few games, are your first few games exclusively bots?
So I think the first game might be. I think because I played like 3 games and I came in first all 3 times. And then
I forgot about that, and I was so proud of myself.
I know. I was playing.
Fuck yes.
Someone I play PUBG with normally. She was like, "Guys, I am so awesome. I'm even awesome on mobile. Check this out, first place." And I was like, "There's bots, right?" She's like, "No, don't tell me that's true." I was like, "Yeah, there's."
Was this Spider?
No. It was
okay.
But yeah, it was funny. But yeah, so I think after because you gain like level progression, it doesn't really do anything other than I think it's just like a ranking system, like you play against people of similar level. And I think once you hit like level 5-ish or something, then you start, I don't know if it's exclusively players, but there's definitely more players than I think there are bots. So
yeah, it was kind of let down when I read that, but it had a lot of the same advantages as I was saying with Fortnite in terms of it being really surprisingly easy to control, and almost not being used to playing PUBG on a controller. I don't have it on Xbox. It made it almost like kind of not intuitive, but quicker than my intuition. Otherwise,
it's just, the only thing that's really difficult for me is it's hard for me to move and shoot at the same time, which generally I'm not trying to do that, but sometimes you have to. And in those instances, I'm like, shit, I'm dead.
Yeah. But stuff like switching guns and switching items and like flipping through, because the menus can get complex, especially in Fortnite with building. And I found that a lot more streamlined with the touch interface.
I think my biggest problem with PUBG Mobile, and I think I mentioned this when I first brought it up a while back, is that the the shoot button is really close to where you're supposed to swipe to move the camera. So I would randomly fire, and I'd be like, shit, someone knows I'm here now.
Yes, I accidentally fired several times.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ellie, you accidentally fire in the PC one. This is no surprise.
Oh, actually, hey, that reminds me. If you guys have time after this, the new map is out on PUBG PC, the smaller map.
Oh, okay. So it's live. It's no longer the
I think it's on live now. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. We should definitely stream a little bit of that.
Yeah. But yeah, that was I don't know if anyone's played it yet, but it was a lot better than I expected, and it's worth giving a shot. They're both free. So
how fast did it kill your battery though?
I had to run to my room and plug in my phone.
Like one match of Fortnite or PUBG kills my battery like from a full charge to like 30%.
Yeah,
Wow.
it was pretty bad.
Are they out on Android yet, or are they just iPhone?
I think PUBG's Android. I think Fortnite is still just iPhone.
Yeah,
But I'm not sure.
I think that's right.
So, what about you,
Yeah.
Josh? Any real games? Sorry, mobile
Zing.
game players.
So I touched on this one during the E3 episode. I played the demo of Octopath Traveler.
Yep.
And I played through it several times actually. Once to there's 8 characters. You choose a main character, and then you can travel around the world picking up all your other characters. And when you come across a new character, it asks you, do you want to play through their intro? And then your character joins along after their intro is done. So it's the way it's set up. It's a JRPG, traditional turn-based combat system. It's all about exploiting weaknesses and general. I don't know. It's a SquareSoft RPG. So it's but the thing is though is like you can play through all the character stories in one playthrough. So it's not like the Romancing Saga games where like you pick your character and you never see the other players' intros or anything. You just go along and they just kind of join your party randomly throughout the game. In this one, like I started with Therion, who's a thief, and the intro to his story has him in a town. He hears about this treasure in this mansion. He finally gets in there to get the treasure, and then realizes it was a trap set up by the owner because they needed a thief to steal something for them.
Spoiler alert.
And so,
Yeah, man.
Sorry, that whole 30 minutes into the game, I apologize. And so, as I left to town to go on the main quest for Therion, I started heading north, and I ran into Hanit, which is she's like this hunter character that's she can like capture enemies and use them against the enemies in future battles. And when I first found Hanit, I was able to say, it says, do you want to play her intro? So I played through her intro, and then during her intro, she's supposed to go into this forest and kill this boss, at which point Therion joins up, and you can go in and help and fight that boss with 2 people instead of just 1. And
That's
the way
really
the way the game scales with difficulties, that boss is a lot easier if you started with Hanit and you only are there with 1 party member. And then, but if you come with 2, 3, 4 party members, the boss will be harder and you'll get better rewards and things like that. So it scales up as you collect party members.
Is it generally just more HP for the boss, or do they have more devastating attacks?
I think they have more HP. They've got more. They do more damage. I think they might have more skills they can use too. But yeah, it's generally like a level increase. Again, I think there are different skills they might use, but
sounds like really smart design.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it works pretty well. So like my first playthrough, I started with Therion, and then I got Hanit, and then Ophelia, and then I made it to Cyrus before my timer ran out because you only get 3 hours to play.
Yep.
And then I started a new game on a new profile because I wanted to try the other 4 characters out, in which case I started with Alphen, who's like this apothecary chemist type character. Met up with Primrose, who's this dancer / prostitute, which is trying to get revenge on the people that killed her father. Then on to Ulberic, which is a warrior, and then finally to Tressa, who's like a merchant character. So I was able to do all 8 characters in 2 sets of 3 hours. Was able to see all their intros, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, some characters are much more interesting than others, like the warrior characters, your typical warrior trope. Yep. Like, oh god, my best friend from long ago has killed the king. I must go find out what's going on.
Again.
Yeah. While some of the other ones like Tressa and Alphen, the chemist and the merchant, they're just so like, I'm going to go explore the world, and which is tropey, but like they're very rambunctious, and the voice acting for them is pretty decent. And I'm just kind of it's a little cheery. I like those 2 characters.
Are there any like, it's my 16th birthday and my right to manhood means I have to go out on my own? No, not that there isn't, but there is one where it's Ophelia. Like her sister is supposed to like go do this. They're like priestesses, and so on every 20 years, the priest, whoever's the priest or priestess, goes on like this pilgrimage to light the fires around the place, and then like their father falls ill. Ophelia feels bad for her sister, who would have to leave on the pilgrimage the next day, and instead Ophelia goes and starts doing it without her sister knowing. And says, so
it was actually a pretty decent story, but I guess that's as close as I would get to, like, it's my rite of passage type thing that I think most games do.
Yeah.
But then, so what I did is since your save progress carries over to the main game, once it comes out, is I went through and started over again with Therion, but this time I just skipped all the cutscenes because I'd already seen them. I knew what they would be doing, so I skipped every single cutscene and I made it the whole way around the map to Alphen. But so I got 7 characters. I just missed out on the 8th one. So when
are you going to try it again? Or are you going to do it for all 8?
No. I mean, I'm literally sitting outside the town where I get the 8th guy. So once I start my game, that's where I'll be at.
Wow, literally will just stop you in your tracks when you hit 3 hours.
Yeah, so once you hit 3 hours and you do like your next screen transition, a little screen pops up and says, "Congratulations, you've played the demo for 3 hours. This is all the time you get." But now you can save, and right here in your game, when you load it up on the retail release, will start you right back here. So I think that's a good way to do a demo.
Yeah, that's a really cool way of doing a demo. Actually, all of this has got me really interested to give this a shot. Like the fact that you don't have to replay the game to see other characters' intros in the way that you would have, for example, like Dragon Age Origins is the one that jumps to mind. Yeah. You can experience all their stories and in one playthrough. I'm kind of curious to see how it goes, how the story works out, because right now it kind of seems like, they're all banding together, but they haven't really yet. None of them really have a common purpose yet. So like you do their chapter 1s, and then you can go to the map and it kind of shows you, chapter 2 for Ophelia's over here, chapter 2 for Therion's over here. And so I'm wondering, are they just going to be, a group of people that, okay, let's go do Therion's story, and then let's go do Ophelia's story. And at what point are they going to be like, okay, now there's the ancient evil that we're all going to band together.
What ties them all together. Whatever. Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how that plays out, because so far, I mean, it's really early on in the game. But seeing how that turns out,
I think that's exactly how it's going to play out.
Probably
there's going to be an ancient evil.
Oh yeah, there's been some hints dropped from some of the intros already, so
the Dragon Lord has awakened.
Yeah, exactly. The last Metroid is in captivity. The galaxy is at peace. But yeah,
awesome, dude. And this is going to be probably one of your birthday.
Yes, definitely.
Loopholes here.
Yeah, this will be one of my birthday loophole, if not the only one, but we'll see.
Yeah, sounds like a good one.
I was basically been on a JRPG kick the past couple weeks. So I also loaded up Cosmic Star Heroine on my PlayStation 4. So it's a game made by Zeboyd Games, who also made Cthulhu Saves the World and Breath of Death 7, both of which I've played a little bit of, and
Breath of Death. I remember that. Holy shit.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Live Arcade.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah. So they're basically they're traditional RPGs. Those two were kind of in the style of the old Dragon Quest games. But they have this quirk where as the battle progresses, the enemies and you start doing more damage. So you need to try and finish battles quickly before you just get overwhelmed. And the same kind of is the same in Cosmic Star Heroine. As you progress in battles, the enemies will start doing more damage. You will as well. But you don't want the battle to go on for too long, because, I mean, I think it eventually does hit a cap, but it just becomes, at that point, can I maintain my health and kill the enemy while also not dying? So it's, so the way the game's set up is you play as Alyssa, who is this secret agent for API, which I cannot remember what it is off the top of my head now. Basically some secret agency. And you start off mid-mission, you go in, you save the hostages, you come back, and then of course you start uncovering a giant conspiracy, and so you're running off with your friends to figure out what's going on. But from the way it works so far is it's very, at least the first 4 or 5 hours, we're very Final Fantasy 4-ish in that you get there's 9 different party members, but it tells you which ones you're going to have at any given point. You don't get to choose. So, but I think it's more so that you learn how each of them plays. But the game is very dependent on buffs, debuffs, weaknesses. When you go into a battle, you automatically know what weaknesses an enemy has. So if you don't have someone that can use those skills, it's just going to be a little longer. It's not impossible. But the way combat's set up is you can bring 8 skills into battle. Well, 7 skills and then a rest skill. And you can generally use each of those skills once before you have to rest to recharge them.
Yeah.
Some
Wait,
of
so
it,
what's a rest skill?
like you click on rest, which is basically like defend. So like you defend,
yeah.
and then that recharges your other skills as well. So you have to spend
That's
a
right.
turn doing that.
I played it for like an hour or two, and that it's like everything is one time use.
There are a couple that you can reuse, but it's not all. It's usually not all of them. And so it's and then you also have characters. Every turn they gain like a hyper point, and each character, depending on what you have equipped, it takes a certain amount of hyper points in order to get to hyper mode, which is one turn. You do like, I don't know if it's like double damage or you ignore defense or something like that. But basically the way battles turn out is you want to buff your character. You want to make sure you have the skill ready for when you hit hyper mode. And then when you hit hyper mode, you use the skill on the right guy. And then you wait for that turn to pop back up again so you can do it again with each of your characters. It's okay. It works fine. It's just it's literally the same thing every battle for me at this point. Is, okay, I make sure I debuff the robot enemies, make sure I stun the human enemies, or I, just use these other skills and while I wait for my hyper mode thing to come back. And oh shit, I forgot to rest. I got to make sure I rest before the turn I get hyper mode, so that way I can use that skill. It's I don't know. I'd make it a slightly above average RPG. It's not like fantastic. I've played about 7 hours now. How long to beat puts it at like 11, although I'm not entirely sure how far along I am. I'll probably finish it. I don't know. I don't think it's going to like leave a lasting impression on me, but it's also very like over the top tropey. Like it knows what it is. Like all these cutscenes are like all pixel art, and like, the bad guy drops down, his sunglasses, little like light sheen goes across, like swing, and like does like a ridiculous pose because they know what it is. It's just like old anime movies and things like that.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of references to old games, also the old Z-Boy games, but there's like, pretty sure I've seen references to like Chrono Trigger, Xenogears, and like Dragon Quest stuff in there every now and again. So it knows what it is. It does it relatively well. I think it's worth a playthrough, but I don't think it's like an amazing game or anything.
It's got a good sense of humor. Yeah, like it doesn't take itself too seriously. It knows what it is, as you say. It gave me kind of like a Chrono Trigger / Phantasy Star vibe.
Yeah.
Like a futuristic focused but game that like a Chrono Trigger-esque battle system.
Kinda, yeah.
But yeah, it was one I always meant to come back to, but I think I'm on like the second or third mission, and seemed fine. Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but was there parts where you can interact with the environment? Like I'm trying to get into a facility and there's stuff in the way and you can like clear it out. I don't know if you can like blow up boxes or push them out of the way or nothing like that.
No, I don't. I mean,
there must have been like a set piece then.
Yeah. There's not a whole lot of like it doesn't do the thing where you can check chests and things like that, or not chests, like open up cupboards and stuff and find items. There's no environmental interaction other than like, okay, maybe I can open up this vent to go in this duct or something like that. But there's not any. If you're going to pick up something, you're going to pick it up from a chest. So.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll probably knock that out in the next week or so, I guess. But I got a lot of travel after this week, so I should probably knock it out this week.
Yeah. This next month is a minefield. Trying to find a time for all of us to show up together.
I've got like 4 trips next month. So
yeah. Nuts.
So the last thing I've been playing is, and again, I think I mentioned this last in the E3 the part 2 of our E3, is that the Final Fantasy V 4-job Fiesta started up again. I've got 2 playthroughs going. I'm about done with World 1 on both of them. Nothing so far. The jobs that I've rolled, I shouldn't have any issues finishing. There shouldn't be any big problems. So,
and this is for charity again. What was the
so you can donate. I mean, so playing the game doesn't incur any donations. Some people might say, I will donate $5 for every person that beats X death, or some people will. You can make pledges and things like that, but mostly you can also just go play. You can register and just get whatever jobs you get and just play it on your own. But they do have a donation page on 4jobfiesta.com, and all the proceeds go to Child's Play, which provides game systems and things like that to children in need or in hospitals and things like that. I think they're looking for 25,000 I think last I checked, it was like around 7. So yeah, if you want to go
Nice.
if you want to go play, or even if you just want to go donate, you can go to 4jobfiesta.com, register to play, or simply donate some money in support of Child's Play.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Are you streaming it this year?
I thought about it. I'm playing one of them on my phone on the mobile version, so probably not that one. The other one I'm playing on the Game Boy Advance version, which I guess I could probably get a streaming setup for it. Yeah, maybe I should do some of that. Yeah, I'll find some time to stream some. Maybe after I do these 2 runs, I'll do a third one that I can just stream.
Yeah, that might be worth it. None of us have streamed in a while. I think Stevo was
it's been a little
the
while.
last one.
Yeah,
Cuphead, I think, was the last videos we put up there.
Yeah. Got to sort that out. Got to get back on it. Maybe
I think I did some of the randomizer.
Oh, that's right. You did try doing that.
Maybe once I get a feel for Dragon's Dogma, which I literally just booted it up and created my character, who I tried to style on Dirk Kuyt, former Liverpool striker.
I didn't know who that was. I thought that was like a pun, and I was like, I don't get it.
Elliot, you didn't realize?
I didn't realize who he was at first. No,
Really, clearly, it said Dirk Kuyt.
It was before my time
in the name, but obviously it still wasn't impressive enough.
Yeah, I mean, the character creator, I can lose in any game. I can lose like 2-3 hours easily, just trying to like either fuck around with it, trying to get him to look like people I know, or trying to get him to look exactly like me, not getting it right, or exactly how I view myself. So
yeah, which is never anything like you.
I think Elliot views himself like that journal entry in the beginning of Firewatch.
What was that?
You don't remember?
Oh, no, yeah. I remember that.
You could decide during the intro, like, he's talking about like his wife drawing a picture for him, and then it's either like a rugged dude, but he's like completely nude, and or like a little skinny guy.
Yeah, that's me. That is me. Well, you guys don't see that?
Well, I mean, I would appreciate if in the future when we record, you would wear clothing. This is kind of distracting.
That's right. Use your imagination, audience.
Please don't. But yeah, those are the big things I've been playing. I do need to get back. I need to boot up Oxenfree. But now that I've got all this, got all this travel, I should just bring my Switch with me and knock out Oxenfree.
None of us have played Oxenfree yet, right? We haven't even.
Yeah, but if you guys are away and I won't be playing anything online, I guess I'll have a lot of time to boot it up and play through it. Looking forward to it as well. It should be a good story.
Yeah.
But I've actually been a little distracted because the Steam sale was going on.
Oh,
the Steam Summer Sale started a few days ago, last week. And loads of stuff on my wish list is on sale at the moment. And I still have, I still had quite a bit of credit from like way earlier in the year. So I picked up, as I mentioned, Dragon's Dogma, which I'm going to try and play a little more in the next few weeks. Also picked up Minute, which is a charming little indie game. It's completely monochrome, white design on black background, and it's like a top-down Zelda-inspired. You're running around picking up little items and trying to get through different areas. You need different items to get to different areas, and the hook is you die after 59 seconds after you respawn. So you have to kind of decide which direction you want to go, get as far there, see what's around, see if you're going to need something else or if you can collect something from that area, and then you're going to die. And then you're going to have to decide if you want to go do the same thing, if you want to go somewhere else. It's a really beautifully designed little game. And it's very simplistic. So I just played a couple hours of that. Not even a couple hours, I guess. Maybe 30 minutes of it yesterday.
Do you keep your items, or when you die? You
so
start
you
all
do.
over?
Happens.
Okay. Yes, your items basically. You keep the sword that you picked up, which it's a cursed sword. That's why you're dying after a minute every time you come back to life. And the items that you pick up either give you extra abilities, and you know they're active. You just constantly have them, or they sit at your home base, and you can pick them up instead of the sword.
Ah.
Mm.
But it's really cool, and obviously it'll be worth talking about a lot more once I've beaten it. I hear it's relatively short, just a few hours long.
Gotcha.
Wow.
The other one I picked up, of course, is one that I believe both of you have, is Hollow Knight, which everyone is buzzing about right now, I believe.
Yeah.
I've played a few hours of it. I've just unlocked the dash move, so you can dash in midair or dash on foot. Which,
nice. I want that.
It's like, yeah.
I feel like every boss that I've run into so
slow.
far, it's clear that I need a dash to kill them.
Yeah.
So I've like died a few times and then decided, nope, not meant to be going this direction.
Yeah, it can be a tough game. There have been some like, I think pretty sure they're like optional areas I've gone into where like there was one that was just like completely dark except for like a little ring around your guy, and there were just like spikes everywhere, and I somehow made it through, but it took me a while to memorize the path.
Does it make you think that you weren't even meant to go that way yet?
No, I was able to get through it. It's just you had to, I don't think you can, there wasn't enough information because you couldn't see far enough past your own guy to know exactly where everything was. So you kind of had to just take a couple leaps of faith and remember where you fucked up and then go back through and try again.
Sounds to me, if you had gone in a different direction, maybe you could have picked up like a lantern or something, like a lantern upgrade.
I mean, maybe later down the road, I don't know, but I don't have that. So I guess, all right, well, I got a boost. It was like, I think it was like a mask piece. So like a heart piece for your health thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was what I found in there. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. I started a few weeks ago. I need to get back to it, but then I got distracted by like Octopath and all that.
It's such a distinctive looking game. It's really pretty. The artwork is phenomenal. Again, it's a 2D platforming Metroidvania.
Yeah.
Which obviously we're all about these days. I am particularly all about Metroidvanias.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Loving them. And you're like are you like a little bug creature?
Yeah, everything's like a bug creature. It's kind of weird.
It's so cool. It's really pretty, and it's got such a little somber tone as well. Everyone that you talk to is kind of like sad and talking about how things used to be, and as you're walking through, everything feels like it's kind of dilapidated, and would have been more beautiful in the good times, and it's just really distinctive. I've been enjoying it, but I only played like 20 minutes of it. Did you play much of it, Ellie?
I played maybe 20 minutes of it, if that even. I got it on as soon as it came out for Switch. I've been waiting for it to come out for Switch. And it was like $15, and I had some eShop credit from a birthday gift, I think.
Yep.
And from you as well.
Do you have any left? Just out of curiosity.
No. So I hadn't bought a game in a long time, and I just had this itch, and I was like, Hollow Knight, should I wait for a sale? No, fuck it. I'm getting it now. And then I also had enough for...
You got Night in the Woods.
I got Night in the Woods, but I also had enough for West of Loathing, which was also on sale at the time.
Ah, cool.
So I got both of those.
Fun, stupid game.
Used up almost all my credit doing that. But I'm looking forward to playing them both. I played a little of Hollow Knight. Haven't even booted up West of Loathing yet. But
yeah. And you're not allowed to play either of them now because you're going to have to play Oxenfree.
So now I gotta focus on Oxenfree at this point. And then I've got, as Josh says, Night in the Woods, which is supposed to be really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got no excuse to not be playing my Switch, but I haven't been playing it. And now there's Fortnite on it.
Distractions, man. You're the worst.
Yeah.
So Josh, how much have you played Hollow Knight? Have you got like a load of abilities at this point? Have you got a map? The first thing.
So let me explain the map to you. Hollow Knight says "fuck you" with a map.
Wow.
There is a map. It's just not very detailed, and like when you enter, it doesn't populate as you move. You basically go into a new area. There's a guy that will sell you the map of the area, but it's just, you can generally figure out where you are on the map, but it doesn't. I don't think it has a location. No, I think you can get something that gives you that tells you exactly where you are. But yeah, it's not a very detailed map, and so. And again, you can't see, it doesn't show you areas you haven't been to. And even if you have been to that area, if you haven't found the dude, then you don't have the map. So
it's got to be, though, that you get further and it gives you that stuff, right?
I don't know. Again, I've only played a couple hours or a few hours. Again, I have the, what are the upgrades I have? I have the dash, and I have the thing where you could shoot like a little mystical bolt. That's about it. And then the healing, but I think you start with that. So Yeah, that's really all I have. I don't even think I have double jump yet. I might.
Have you how long to beat at this? It looks says 20 hours main story,
Whoa.
30,
Holy
30
shit.
hours main and extra.
Good Lord. It's going to take me 50.
I was reading there's like over 100 bosses or something like ridiculous like that in this game. Which,
Wow.
I mean, if they're including like the little dudes with like shields and then these big fat guys, which I fought several times so far, if they're counting those, then okay, maybe. But yeah, that seems insane to me. 20 hours for Metroidvania sounds insane, but
Yeah.
Sounds great. I'm loving this. I can't wait for this.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just like most Metroidvania games are like, okay, 6 hours, oh, cool, I finally beat it. You know?
Yeah. Well, the race is
Sounds
on,
good.
and
Yeah.
Josh is gonna win it.
Yep. Not even a race.
Why do you even try?
All right. Do you think that wraps us up?
I think that's it for now.
Yeah, I think that's all the games we wanted to talk about. I did want to mention just very quickly, with the risk of going on for too long, that Amy and I started watching Same Peaks.
Same peaks?
Same peaks?
Let me try that one more time. We started watching Same Team Y'all.
No. Third time lucky.
We started watching Twin Peaks,
Okay, there you go.
TV show
Congratulations.
from the 90s. I'd seen the first season before, and I might have mentioned it on here, but Amy hadn't seen it, and we just like marathon the first 3 episodes. She couldn't get enough. And I think we're going to like stop now and listen to the Same Peaks Y'all podcast, which is run by Eric and Tess, who we're all good friends with, and they do the Same Team Y'all podcast. Same Peaks Y'all is their like sister podcast where they basically watch an episode of Twin Peaks, which Eric has never seen and Tess is a huge fan of, and they'll talk about the episode, kind of do a recap. So I've never listened to Same Peaks Y'all because I'm not actively watching Twin Peaks, but now that we're in it and like going through, I think we're gonna. I've subscribed to it, so I'm ready to start listening to it, and looking forward to that.
They're gonna have to have you on after you've made it through.
I know.
First 2 seasons.
So I looked up the most recent episode is like season 2, episode 6 or something like that ish. So I don't think they're up to the new, like the revival yet.
No.
But
I might have to do the same, man. I might have to go back and watch this again. I watched the first season as well, and then just kind of never went back to it. But now I might go back and watch the first season from the start so that I remember exactly what happened.
It's worth it. Like I'm picking up on a lot of stuff I missed before.
Yeah.
And it's a really enjoyable show. It gives me like, especially after playing a little bit of Thimbleweed Park, which has a similar vibe.
Yeah.
And like the Velvet Room reminds me of Persona.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
I feel like it's a show I should really enjoy, but like I watched the pilot and I was like trying not to fall asleep.
Oh, it's totally weird, and like the tempo is all over the place.
Yeah.
But it's quirky. I guess you just have to find the joy in it,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which is tough. But it's worth it, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
agreed. So we'll probably be doing a bit of that. Maybe play some Oxenfree on the plane if I bring my Switch. But other than that, we will be back in 2 weeks, and hopefully most of us back from all of our travels at that time. In the meantime, you can check us out at our website, which is ratherbecast.com, and you can follow us on Twitter, which is at RBPcast. We all have our own individual Twitter accounts, at RBP Josh, at RBP Stevo, at RBP Elliot. Hopefully Josh will be able to find some time to stream his 4-Drop Fiesta on twitch.tv/ratherbyplaying, and we'll put the video on demand and all of our podcast episodes on YouTube as well. You can search for us there. We're also on Facebook, and we're wherever you find your podcasts. If you're listening to us on our website, you can also download us on iTunes, Google, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and just drop us a line, give us a review, give us a like, tell your friends. We always appreciate a nice 5 stars, 4 stars, anything less than that. You can just not leave a review. No. Tell us what you think.
Stop threatening the listeners.
We're always looking for ways to improve. So give us a review or drop us a line, questions@ratherbecast.com, and join in on the discussion. We'd love to hear what you have to say and read it on the on the show and have a discussion in a future episode.
All right, everybody. Until next time.
Thanks again. We will talk to you next time. Or, we will talk at you next time.
Play them games. Catch you later, all.
Bye-bye.